chief witnesses were saying that there seemed to be a police presence immediately as soon as they heard gunfire. Was there anything that they could have known of beforehand to show up sooner?
I can't answer that question. I know that we were here immediately, and thankfully we apprehended a suspect.
And so, fortunately, there were police at the scene when all of this went down. And that is because they were there primarily for crowd control. So thank goodness that those law enforcement officials were there, because this could have been much.
Any idea how long from the time that canister was thrown until the time that you managed to get out of the theater? How much time elapsed?
I would like to possibly 30 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe a little more. But the gunshots itself, probably maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. Corbin Dates,
Now you've got hundreds of shell casings. You've got blood and biological evidence. You have other forensics.
Do you know anything about whether this individual might have been taken into custody or anything? Have you heard anything from police?
I know for the next half hour, at the very least, maybe 45 minutes, that both theaters sat outside in the immediate parking lot right out front and waited for any kind of sign. We saw plenty of stretchers go in. We saw, the unfortunate little girl. We saw people walking out still bloodied, and we saw people getting assisted out. And from what we know, he didn't get caught. We didn't see anything like that. Me and the people that I was talking to before the movie, we pretty much said, if we see someone comes out in handcuffs, we doubt he's going to make it to the car. There were so many people angry and yelling and, ready to do harm onto the guy that did all this.
Can you walk us through the timeline of this, when it began, kind of point by point, and how much time elapsed?
Again, we were on scene within a minute or a minute and a half, and we immediately arrested the suspect in the back of the theater. From our first call to his apprehension was about a minute to a minute and a half.
I think you told one of our producers that the person you saw going out of the theater to get and come back, whoever came back in, the one who went out had a goatee. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's correct, yeah. Prior to the movie even starting, when I came and got my seat at the theater, a guy walked in into the auditorium after me, sat into the very first right row, and got a phone call, a second phone call towards the emergency exit, not the lobby, and had his foot propped open by the door. It seemed like he was making gestures, trying to find somebody or trying to have somebody come to his location to where he currently was. After that, I had already stepped out of the auditorium to bring my friend in, and when we came back, the movie was just starting, lights were dimming, and that door seemed closed.
And you testified to all this in court?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Corbin Dates, I'm glad you got through it, fella.